why I did this class for you guys is because of your persistence. I know I said no 7 times, and you guys constantly persisted, and that's exactly why I said, okay, fine, we got to do it. If they're really hungry, then we'll do it for them. So that's the only thing I want to award you for, your tremendous persistence. This is exactly what we need in life. We need a lot of will and a lot of desire. So first of all, if you can save one soul, especially today, when we're dealing with 60% intermarriage, and we're dealing with so many lost kids. I myself own rehab centers, and I can give you testimonials from here to tomorrow of how many people got involved in drugs and at a young age because of lack of self-worth or because of recreational, and their whole lives today, they're fighting it today. So first of all, Chazaka Baruch. It's very important to relate to people on their level. It's very important. That's why I'm not a rabbi myself. I'm a regular businessman, and I'm able to answer a lot of questions that people would probably be embarrassed to ask rabbis, and without any judgment. That's what I really like. And again, I'm not a rabbi whatsoever, nor do I want to be a rabbi. It's not my thing. No, thank you. I'm in my own lane. But because I like to be able to relate to people. I like to be able to speak to people about their issues and be real instead of trying to dry things under the rug. So today's class, basically, I wanted to discuss, I understand this class is predominantly for teens. So I wanted to discuss maybe 10 to 12 issues that I would say that if I was a teen, I wish I would have learned. And 10 to 10 issues that obviously I learned the hard way. And what would I say to myself? Right now I'm 42. What would I say to myself as a teen today that could help me save the mistakes that I probably have today? Obviously at 23, 24, I was dating non-Jewish girls. I was throwing clubs in South Beach. I was gambling. It was definitely not where I am today. And I definitely at, when you grow up 20s in Miami, you have a get rich or die trying mindset. And, it's just, everything's about show and everything's about, money and life and these things. So that's why I really want to speak to you guys and really give you knowledge and really give you perspective, give you, things that you could really save right now that are going to save you tremendous amount of pain. And that's really what it is. A lot of my teachings are based on Reb Nachman. A lot of my teachings are based on psychology. We try to combine a couple things. After the classes, we'll do some Q&As after. But again, take notes. These are around 10 to 12 concepts that are vital. These are 10 things that, 10 to 12 things that can help you so much with development. Number one thing I want to talk about is delayed gratification versus instant gratification. Unfortunately, today you see a lot of people use YouTube video stars, or you see, Instagram models, or you see these, they put a couple pictures. Everybody wants to be famous really, really quick. And what happens is if you try to living a life of constant instant gratification, you're going to end up suffering very tremendously. The reason why is because one time it's going to end. The show is going to end. And the greatest way to describe this is that Walter Mitchell had a marshmallow experience. And what did he do? He tested two types of kids. He gave one kid one marshmallow, and he told another kid, listen, if you wait 20 minutes later, you're going to have 2 marshmallows. So what happens is they track these kids down their whole life. And the kids that took the marshmallow right away, they were less successful in life. They had more addictions, had less health problems, had more tendencies to want things fast. The kids that were able to wait 20 minutes for things, they were able to be much more successful across the board. So you have to be able to have delayed gratification. This is called in Kabbalah building a vessel. Because what happens is if we get too fast, for example, you see all these reality stars. Can everybody hear me? Just want to make sure. Good? Perfect. You see all these reality stars. At the end of the day, they end up becoming nothing. You see a lot of people that they get famous quickly, and next thing you know, what do they have to show it now? So we never want to get things fast. You want to build a vessel, because if you get things fast, it's going to go fast. And once it goes fast, the crash is fast. So we want to focus on delayed gratification, start loving the process of things in life, and stop running after the prize. Start loving the process. There's a process to everything. and stop going running after prizes. Because what happens is when you're younger, all we want to do is prizes. Get me this. This is going to make me look better. This is going to make me more popular. This is going to make me this. And what happens is at the end of the day, that race is going to run out, and you're going to crash very hard. So again, focus on delayed gratification, even with work, because all of a sudden the kid gets into school. Next thing he goes to college. He gets everything. Next thing you know, he goes to his first job. Okay, you have to start out working as a minimum wage, or you have to start out for entry-level position. No, I'm not an entry-level position. I want to be a manager. I want to make this amount of money right away. And then what happens is your expectations and reality are going to smack you in the face. So it's okay to start off at the entry-level job. You'll climb up, but when you're really used to things so fast, you're going to eventually crash. So that's the number one thing right away. Delayed gratification versus instant gratification. It can kill you. It can kill you across the board. Start loving the process. Start building the vessel. Stop chasing the prize all the time. That was the one thing that I told myself. The more patient I am in things, the more I succeeded in things. The less patient I was in things, what happens is I wasn't ready for it, and it ended up crashing, and it ended up falling tremendously. So number one, delayed gratification versus instant gratification. Number two, you can have a religion without faith. It really means nothing. Religion won't change your life, but faith will. It's very important to have both. You have to have religion, but you have to have also faith. Because what happens is if we don't combine them both, it's just you're focusing only on the mind without the heart. So emunah, faith, is the belief that everything's supposed to happen for your benefit. So you're going to get a lot of setbacks in life. You're going to get a lot of things you don't understand. You're going to get a lot of things that are not making sense to you. For example, we know from Yosef Atzadik that when he was sent to Egypt, he was sold by his brothers. At the end of the last line, he tells his father, I was not sold here. I was sent here. So the whole point is life is happening for you. It's not happening to you. Your creator wants to bestow kindness on you. He wants to give to you. He loves you like a father. But what happens is if you're going the wrong direction, he's going to wake you up. And we have to understand that any trial, any tribulation, any things that are, it's a wake-up call. Again, I relapsed 7 times gambling. Believe me, I had more wake-up calls than you can imagine. So we want to focus more on recognizing that everything that Hashem does is for your benefit. Don't think that your father's out to hurt you. He has high expectations from you, but he also is very warm to you. He's warm. He helps us get up when we fall. He helps us with our challenges. Yes, he expects a lot from us, but he also is there to help us get up every single time. Like the pasuk says, you're going to go to sleep crying, and you're going to wake up singing. That's the story of our lives. There's times that we're going to go to sleep crying, but in the morning we wake up singing because Hashem gives us that new arousal of emunah, the new arousal of new. So don't expect just to have clarity in life. You're also going to have the same thing. You're going to also have a state of constriction. You can't have expansion without constriction. Remember, if Hashem created the world where you would play soccer, you wouldn't have a goalie, or you would never get rewarded for the challenge. So the challenge is what builds you. The challenge is what makes you. The challenge is what makes you prove that you have faith in life. So it's number 2. Life is happening for you. It's not happening to you. Don't be a victim to life. Be a co-creator. It's number 2. Number 3, many times I see guys or girls getting into relationships early in their relationships, early in their lives, and their relationships don't go sour. And what happens is they take their failure personal. And we need to understand something very clearly. Sometimes God has to break your soul, break your heart to save your soul. Many times you're going to be in a relationship, it's not going to work out, it's for your benefit. And you're thinking, oh my God, the reason why she doesn't like me, the reason why he doesn't like me, I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not successful enough, or I'm a loser, or whatever you want to tell yourself. There's reasons why specifically in life, Hashem does not want specific people in your life. Maybe it's not your soulmate, maybe it's not your mission, but sometimes, like I said, God has to break your heart to save your soul. I'd rather him break your heart and lose your soul. So remember, be able to recognize it. We're going to go through pain. We're going to go through challenges in relationships, but don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. Like we would never go and hang out with a blockbuster videotape in life. You have to be able to move fast in life. So again, relationships, don't take them personal. If people leave you, if things don't work out, it's for the benefit. Hashem's kindness is always there. We just have to recognize and see it. 4, resilience. Resilience is probably one of the most important things. Resilience means being able to get up quickly after the challenges. The way the world was created was first darkness, then there's light. You're going to have a lot of obstacles in your life. You're going to have a lot of situations that are going to overwhelm you. And as a teen, you can build this. As a teen, you could start building resilience. You could start building the ability to get up quicker. The more humble you are, the more quicker you're going to get up. The less humble you are, the more you're going to say, why me? So it's very, very important that you're not going to understand everything in life. You're not going to understand. There's things in life where you're going to have to just close your eyes. That's exactly why we say the Shema. We say the Shema with our eyes closed. Because in life, you're not always going to be able to see things clearly. And that's why Hashem wants you to depend on him. Close your eyes sometimes. That's what Emunah is for. Emunah is at night. Shema is at night. When we say Shema Israel, what are we saying? We're saying that the God of Yud Ke Vav Ke and Hashem Elokim is one. It's all one. And that requires Emunah to be able to sing on a good day and to be able, obviously, to have that concept. So resilience is what's next instead of why me. That's the key. The key is we don't want to get stuck years and years of therapy because we're always taking things personal. We want to be able to say, Hashem's doing it for my favor. What's next? What do I need to learn from next? Failure is part of life. Number 5, it's very, very important that you start building a mindset at this age. It's very important that you get up as early as possible. Specifically, you get up early as possible, put on tefillin and pray, because you want to take advantage of the opportunity. What happens is successful people wake up early. They wake up early. They wake up to instead of avoiding life, they wake up to approach life. I can tell you right now, people that I know, very successful people, they're all early risers. They wake up early. There's a Gemara that says, or a Midrash that says, if you bite the snake on the head, you can kill it. But if he bites you in the heel, he's got you. So what does that mean? I have to score in the morning. I have to bite. I have to smack the snake in the morning instead of getting bit by the heel. It's not one thing, guys, that's going to make you successful. It's not one thing. It's a combination of a lot of things. That's why you always have to constantly work on your knowledge. But the most important thing is early morning is a huge key, because first you want to show your creator that you want to pray to him, that you depend on him, that nothing can happen in the day without your praying to him, that he's the source of everything, he's the source of the bounty. But if you get up at 9 o'clock when you're tired and you put on your tefillin whenever you want, it doesn't show that this is an opportunity for you. It shows it's an obligation. It shows laziness. Laziness is a lack of faith. When I'm lazy with something, I'm sluggish, it's showing that I don't really believe in it. So that's what's making me lazy. And we don't want to start, this age is not the time to be lazy. This is a time to rise up and don't depend on good days to come. Make them. And how you make them is how you start them. And how you start them can change your whole energy of the day. So again, biggest recommendation would always be as early as possible. Wake up, go to a minyan, go pray with me a minyan, put on tefillin in a minyan, and that will get you so focused. And that will, most important, it's going to show your creator that this is the most important thing to you, instead of waking up and sleeping. Your pillow and your bed could be your biggest enemy in life. Your pillow and your bed can cost you the success of life. That same pillow that you sleep on every single day could be the success and the hatzlacha that it's killing you. Right next to it, it's right in your face. Remember, success is right in your face. It's not somewhere far of you. It's that same pillow and bed that has to be. And I know in the beginning it's going to be tough for people to get up early, but once you get into a habit of things, it just becomes second nature. 6, very, very important that you never compare your life to other people's life. Because if you compare your life to other people's life, what happens is you miss your mission and you're in the wrong lane. So I always tell people, as a teenager, don't even look at social media. Don't care how much money that kid has or how successful he has. Because if you don't have your energy to invest in yourself and you're always worried about your neighbor, you're going to lose. If his parents are rich and yours are not, that's not your business. You just need to work harder. Bottom line is stay in your lane. Do not compare your life to anybody else's life. Everybody has a different challenge in life. Everybody has a different mazal. Everybody has a different purpose. Not everybody's meant to do the same exact thing. So it's very important. Stay in your lane. That's the reason why there's a point guard. One guy's a center. Not everybody's a center. Not everybody's a point guard. Everybody has different positions in life. You also have a different position. Your job is to get to know what it is instead of asking, how come I'm not like that? So stay in your lane is definitely number 6. Number 7, all happy people are successful, but not all successful people are happy. It's very, very important in Judaism, simcha, happiness, because what happens is when you're happy, Hashem opens up your mind and he gives you the ideas and he gives you thoughts and he gives you things you should be doing. But what happens is when you get to sadness, Hashem closes up your mind and he doesn't reveal the answers that you're going to need for the most important things in life. It could be relationships, it could be work, it could be, what you want to do in life. But sadness blocks Hashem's presence. So one of the biggest commandments is to be happy, and to be happy that we have Hashem, that we were Jewish, that we have the Torah. That, I mean, if you're looking at this world of 2020, I mean, you have to almost go into a bubble because there's so much darkness in this world. There's so much darkness. There's so much confusion. It's very, very, very important to understand that. Can I please do the quote? The quote was, not all happy people are successful, but not all successful people are happy. That means happiness will guarantee success because you're happy with whatever you get. That's the bottom line. So it's very, very important to understand that. To have simcha. You can't be Jewish and not be simcha and have simcha. It defeats the whole purpose. You don't have the heart. So that's why Reb Nachman would always focus on simcha, to serve Hashem with simcha, to do everything with simcha, do the mitzvahs with simcha. Don't go into prayer, don't go into Shabbat with like, oh, I can't believe it. Don't go into this attitude of, oh my God, I'm just doing it because my parents are doing it. Don't do that to yourself, because what happens is you're going to miss out on a lot of light and you're going to only focus on darkness. So go into things in your life with light. Go into them with happiness. Go into them with joy. Okay, you don't understand them, but try to search for it. Don't just say, Shabbat, this, I'm not having fun. Believe me, this is where you get everything. So again, your approach to Judaism has to be with renewal. Happiness has to be with simcha. Don't let it be darkness. Don't let it be something heavy, because it's something super light. That light's not revealed to you. Number 8, don't chase happiness. Practice it. It's very important in life. We always think, if I got into the yeshiva, if I got into that school, I'll be happy. If I dated that girl, I'd be happy. If I got that car, I'd be happy. If I made this money, if I this, happy. Then you're always chasing something in life. And that's what the Yetzer Hara does. It always tells you, listen, this will make you happy. And then once you get it, then you need something else. So you have to recognize in life, we want to practice happiness instead of chasing happiness. As teenagers, we want to say, you know what? How do I get more? How do I attract more better things in my life? I have to show Hashem I'm happy with what I have. When you show people how you have, basically you're sending a signal in heaven, and they're going to give you more. But when you say there's nothing, I never get anything, I never get anything, what happens is you get more things taken away from you. So it's very, very important that if you want more, you have to be grateful. And the more gratitude, the more abundance you're going to see, the more opportunities you're going to see. The less you're going to see. Number 9, pain management. We're all going to go through some kind of pain, rejection, etc. It's very important that you use pain to get you closer to your creator. Don't use pain. Don't take pain and numb it and with all kinds of substances or suppress it. Yes, we all have pain. It's part of life. Take that pain that you have and get it closer to your creator. Don't let pain be. Don't medicate yourself with marijuana. Don't medicate yourself with food. Don't medicate on anything. You have pain, talk about it, express it, speak to your parents, speak to your friends. That's why we all have it. Everybody has some kind of pain. Everybody has some kind of struggles in their life. And the people that basically they numb the pain, they never grow. Because what happens is pain is supposed to turn into growth. How? By accepting it and by dealing with it. It turns into growth all the time. But if we don't use it properly, that pain ends up becoming, we become victims to that pain. We never let that pain out. We suppress that pain, and then we never end up getting the growth or the lesson from that pain. So it's very important what you do with the pain. So any kind of, this is how championships are made, from pain. So any kind of pain that you have, don't take it. Again, use that pain to get closer to your creator. Use that pain to get to drive you. Use that pain to make you into the person you're supposed to be. Don't ever take pain and numb it and suppress it. Because like I said, people start smoking. Next thing you know, it leads to pornography. And next thing you know, it leads to other drugs. And it's just a horrible lifestyle. When you see 18-year-old kids, 17-year-old kids smoking, watching pornography, they ruin their whole life. They ruin their brain. They don't even have a brain anymore. Their brain is gone. Especially, God forbid, people watching pornography. What happens is your dopamine receptors, they go so high to 200%, 300% dopamine. Then what happens is you can't come down from that. And when you come down, you're going to be like, nothing's going to be good enough. It's like taking the kid on a roller coaster and then telling him, okay, do me a favor, go on the small world after all ride. That's what happens when you jack your brain up with too much dopamine, which what drugs do. It's like going on a roller coaster. Imagine taking the kid on a roller coaster and telling him, now go on a ride. It's a small world after all. He's gonna be like, I can't deal with this. You stop appreciating the small things. So a lot of times marijuana becomes a gateway drug. It makes you lazy. It destroys your self-confidence, and it leads to other things and other things and other things, and it makes you depressed. Also, pornography and, God forbid, masturbation. These things make you depressed. And when you're 18, you're 19 years old, 17 years old, you're depressed at this age. It's not because it's you. It's because you jacked up your brain too high, and your brain can't sustain that kind of level of dopamine. So it's very, very important. Again, I don't want to beat around the bush here, because I know the issues that are out there. We could talk about things, but that's not really dealing with the issues that these teenagers are dealing, obviously, with. And also, most important, what these two things do, marijuana and pornography, is they get you away from your creator, and you stop wanting to be spiritual. You don't want to pray anymore. You don't want to keep Shabbat anymore. You lose everything. It can only lead to nothing but disasters. And believe me, I could tell you, I own a rehab center for the past 7 years. I could tell you, it's all I see. It's all I see. Unfortunately, it's all I see lately. And then now, God forbid, kids become on heroin, and you see the overdoses, 23, 24-year-olds. This is it's very serious business. Number 10 is social media detox. It's very, very important that we stay away as much as we can from social media. The studies are showing that the more social media people watch, the more depressed they are. Because first of all, they're trying to copy people's lives that don't even exist. And the media today is worse than it's ever been, ever. There's nothing but lies and manipulation and fear to make people completely scared out of their mind. So as somebody young, I will tell you to take a detox from social media. Nothing good but manipulation and garbage is coming out of there. And you have to starve your distraction and feed your focus. It's distracting you. It's a lot of distractions in social media. You have to feed your focus. Stop getting distracted on these things. It's not going to do anything for you. Number 11, limiting beliefs. It's very, very important that sometimes as young man or young woman, something happens in our lives and we start having a limited belief. I can't do this. I could do this. I can't do this. I'm not good enough for that. I'm not as smart as him. I'm not good at that. And I compare this example to an elephant. The way an elephant is trained is they tie a rope to him when he's younger. And what happens is when the little elephant pulls the rope and pulls the rope and pulls the rope, obviously he says he quits, because what happens is he keeps on pulling, and he can't do it. So what happens is when he becomes an older elephant, you could see, if you go to the zoo, you see an elephant and you see a little Indian guy with a rope, and you could say, how in the world does this elephant How in the world is this elephant hanging out with this Indian guy with the rope? It doesn't make absolutely any sense. It's because what happens is when the elephant was younger, it believed that that's all it could do. So sometimes in life, we take these belief systems. We have situations in our lives that they defined us. They made us who we are, and we started telling ourselves, "I'm this, I'm that, I'm this," and it's exactly about like that. The elephant. So what you have to do is you have to take all these little beliefs, all these limitations. I'm not good at school. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good looking. I'm not pretty. I'm not beautiful. I'm not all this. Get it out the window. It's a limiting belief. It's not reality. It's something that you invented. You created a story and it defines you. And what happens is if you have these stories, then you're never going to take on new things. So it's very, very important. Get rid of limited beliefs. Even if your parents told you you're not good enough, even if your friends told you you're not good enough, all of this is garbage. It's nothing more but a limiting belief, and we have to completely divorce these limited beliefs, and we have to marry our true selves. Number 12, and the last one, is you have to be careful not to hold in things in life. A lot of things, unfortunately, people have situations happens in life. You have to go and maybe speak to a therapist or speak to a friend or speak to parents. But the worst thing we could do is hold things in. Because if we hold things in, and we constantly hold them in, and they constantly repeat themselves, and then all of a sudden they accumulate, it can unfortunately affect our future. Because all of a sudden we can go into jobs, we can go into relationships with a lot of baggage that we had when we were younger. So whatever you have that's in your heart, whatever the have that's bothering you, is very important to give it meaning, to talk about it, whether it's with a therapist, whether it's a friend, but don't be shy. The worst thing is to do is keep it in. Because the more you repeat something, the more it becomes your subconscious and the more it defines you. So again, don't keep things in, let them out, speak to your parents. If it's happened in your life, I can't tell you how many times you see kids today, they've held things in for years and it's hurt them and it's made them sad, and you have to let it out. We all have, that's why our creator gave us friends, that's why our creator gave us therapists. You have to really let these things out. And the worst thing you could do is hold them in, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to suffer. So those are the 12 things that I recommend. I can give you 25 of them, but I think 12 is good. 12 is good that I want to, I'll quickly repeat them. Number 1, delayed gratification versus instant gratification. Faith, believing that life is happening for you, not to you. 3, relationships. Sometimes Hashem has to break your heart to save your soul. 4, resilience. Don't say why me, but say what's next. 5, make sure you score in the mornings. Play good offense. The best defense is a good offense. Start the day early instead of start the day late. 6, stay in your lane. Don't compare your life to absolutely anybody's life. You have your own mission. You have your own mazal. 7, all happy people are successful, but not all successful people are happy. Happiness gives you an open mind. Hashem opens your mind, which will lead you to success. And also recognize that failure leads to experience, and experience gives you success. 8, don't chase happiness. Practice it. 9, let pain be a vehicle to get closer to your creator. Don't numb pain or use any substances, God forbid. 10, social media detox. 11, limiting beliefs. And 12, not holding things in. Those are the 12 things that I recommend for 2020 teens. If you guys want to ask some questions, I'll be happy to ask a couple questions, and I hope that helped. Good?
No, Gedale, hold on.
Yeah.
He's getting on.
Okay.
He's getting on. He wants to ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, of course. Yes.
All right. So the first question is, what should one do if they struggle to get up early for minyan?
You have to pray for it. You have to ask your creator to give you the opportunity to get up early. And also, not getting up early has something to do with faith. If I told you right now, I'm going to give you a job where you're going to make 500 grand a year, I promise you, you will not need any reminder to get up. So you have to, anytime we're lazy or anytime we don't work on something, it's because we think it's an obligation, not opportunity. So you're looking at it as an obligation instead of an opportunity. But getting up early in the minyan is showing your creator. First of all, it's very good for parnasa, because the quality of your prayers in the morning are going to make a difference, because you have more clarity, you have more kavana, and you have to pray for it, and you have to do whatever you have to do. Give charity, pray for it, And most important thing is work on your emunah, work on your faith to recognize, why am I so tired? I'm so tired because I don't really think it's so important. Next.
All right, next question is, how do you practice happiness?
By saying thank you right now for what you have. Great question. Practice it. That means just like don't wait for the game to start. Practice the game. You're in the game right now. Practice it. Being grateful for exactly whatever you have today. You know, there's a lot of things to be grateful for today. Thank God we're safe. Thank God, we're Hashem's, we're healthy. Hashem has given us, little by little, He's taking coronavirus away. Things are opening up. There's a lot of things to be absolutely grateful for. We're parents. We're safe. Etc.
All right, next one is, my daughter insisted on going out during the lockdown curfew. She is legally an adult, though I was scared for her life. What is the best way for a parent to handle this type of situation?
Tough question. But again, sometimes the more you tell kids not to do it, the more they do it. So again, the way you say it, how you say it. Listen, my teenagers are only 14 years old right now, so I'm not really prepared to answer those kind of questions yet. But I don't know. I can't tell you the answer to that one. Depends on your daughter. Depends on the relationship you have.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Yes.
All right. Speaking to your point about social media detox, how would you recommend people that utilize social media for their business to have a healthy balance?
Right. That's good. Listen, obviously I have to use it for my business also. Just give it a time, say, at 10 o'clock, I'll go on for business. Just put boundaries where you have specific times where you go on it. Okay, I don't open it till 7 o'clock or open it till 9 o'clock. And then from 9 to 11, but have boundaries where you know that you're limited to 3 hours or 2 hours, etc. But especially what happens is you start with one thing, you end up, watching other things that is nothing but garbage. So it not only does it's not like you're just wasting time, but you're getting panic attacks with this news. You're getting the videos that people are showing. You're gonna get a panic attack. And when you're in that mode, it could actually affect your business.
All right.
I would say boundaries is the question.
Next one is, what should you do if you feel your whole life is a compilation of bad choices? How do you turn yourself around mentally and emotionally? How does someone build their self-esteem if they feel there is genuinely nothing to be proud of?
Right. So what happens is he's looking at the failures and he's taking it personal. So in life, you have to say either you win or learn. Take those failures and recognize that they're lessons. Also, if you recognize that there's probably something you're doing also that's causing you to make those bad choices. It could be smoking, drugs. It could be, watching. There's could be another factor there that's causing you to God forbid, affect your mazal. So there could be the difference. I gotta understand a little bit more about the person's lifestyle. But sometimes when a person's, he's with the wrong girl or he's doing inappropriate things, it can affect your mazal. And your mazal affects everything you do.
Right. The problem is someone who is or may be gay / bisexual, etc., they lose confidence in themselves. They have a low self-esteem and have many problems with religion because it seems that God finds them as an abomination. In this situation, how can someone like that find happiness, and how does the Torah believe in conversion therapy?
Listen, this is a very touchy subject. It's a very touchy subject, but unfortunately, we have many clients that are gay and that have that, and they struggle a lot. It's a big struggle. It's a big struggle, and there's a lot of times people, there's a lot of issues sometimes that, the gay people that are they're gay that they have issues with parents, that daddy figures, issues with daddies. So we ought to make sure that it's not something that you had a bad relationship with your father, that's why a person turned into that. There's a lot of, I've seen it the more I go into it, the more I recognize they had bad relationships with their father, and that's what led them to that. Again, whether you're born or not, I have no idea. I can't really answer that question. But the problem is you have to, you have to really recognize, the Torah tells you it's an abomination, and the Torah tells you it's pretty strict on that. And it unfortunately it leads to shame, it leads to guilt, and it's very hard to live in life with shame and guilt. As far as conversion and stuff like that, I don't know who does it, but I believe that we all have a tendency to something. We all have a tendency to be something, and I believe Hashem would never give us something we can't handle.
Okay. What would you say to a teen that constantly worries about the future and is anxious?
Right. So it's obviously something that's a pattern. It's a pattern. I would recommend him to learn Torah. I would recommend him to do his bodedut. I would recommend him to start reading books on bitachon, on trust, or listen to my classes. I would strongly recommend him to listen to my classes. My classes have a combination of all that.
Next question, how can one control their emotions? What advice would you give?
Again, controlling the emotions is dealing with perspective, the way things mean. I strongly recommend, it's not one way to answer, it's listen to my classes. If you guys can send the group out, I go through many ways. I have many classes on emotions. One class is not going to help you deal with your emotions. Listen to the classes and they'll give you dot. And when you have new dot, when you have new perspective, you'll be able to look at things differently. Instead of looking at them like a challenge, you look at them a threat. You look at them as a challenge. So I would strongly recommend people get on the group chat and start listening to classes. It's a combination of Torah and therapy.
All right. As a teenage girl, how to keep yourself occupied in quarantine at home?
Listen, knowledge. I mean, the best thing is reading, knowledge. The whole purpose of this quarantine is people to work with their inner self. That Hashem clearly is seeing that everybody's working on the outer self, and nobody's really working on the inner self. So that's why this is such a crash. It's because what happens is the crash was such a crash that everybody's running away from themselves. So now that they have to deal with themselves, people are crashing. They don't know what to do with themselves because they don't even know who they are. So get to know yourself. Spend time with yourself. Meditate. Find out what you like. But the whole purpose of this virus, it's to get people to get to know themselves. And you have to understand something. I'm not gonna spend time with somebody I don't like. So many people they don't like themselves. So why would they want to spend time with themselves? So it's a time to go into a lot of introspection on your relationship with yourself. Thank God I've had plenty of time. I have plenty of time. I have books to read. I have things to read. I have no problem being alone. You don't always want to be busy. Being alone is where you build your character, where you get to know yourself.
All right, next question is, what should a person do to prevent himself from being jealous of his friends or neighbors, especially when you're constantly around them?
Right. So again, it's being jealous of somebody and being envious of somebody. It's clearly showing that person is lacking faith and that he believes that Hashem is limited. Because the more I recognize that Hashem is great and Hashem can provide for everybody, why would I care if he has? Do you understand? So the problem is that person has a very limited mindset. Because if you recognize that Hashem is great and Hashem is abundant, he could provide 20 times to anybody. But if he thinks he's limited and he can only give this small trickle, then he's going to be jealous that other people have. So I tell him to change your mindset. Change your mindset to recognize how great Hashem is. That he's not limited. It comes from a stingy eye, from a very low emunah. Just to work on his emunah.
I am always jealous of everyone around me, about people that get attention without even acting, people who are pretty. How do I go about working on my inner security to stop feeling this way?
Right. I strongly recommend every teen out there to listen to my classes, because these are the if you just listen to the questions, but these are the habits and these are the questions that are going to be formed, and it's going to create your identity. So it's very important to get to know yourself to learn, to understand, why am I jealous? Ask yourself, why am I jealous? I go through it in all my classes. And it's all the root of all this is a lack of faith. And, and once you reckon, because if you don't change your thinking at this age, you're gonna develop this mindset at 23, 24, and you're gonna go into a marriage jealous, you're going to go into a business jealous, and the whole time in life, you miss out on everything. You'll miss out on absolutely everything. You'll miss out because you never think you got enough.
How do you recommend a guy to combat the urge of spilling seed?
Right, I would say Tikkun HaKlali. There's a psalm say Tikkun HaKlali. It's 10 psalms of Reb Nachman. It's able to put that seed back in the place where it's sent. And also you have to understand that spilling seed, one of the things it does is it destroys your parnasa. It destroys your energy level. It makes you have brain fog. It's not good financially. It's not good for relationships. It screws up your confidence. Other things it does is it takes away your energy. It leads you to shame. So you have another 5 or 6, 7, 8 things. The reason why a lot of people do that is because they're very depressed, or they're looking for a way to release their emotions. But I would strongly recommend listening to my classes. I have a class on Tikkun HaKlali, and you could start reading Tikkun HaKlali. Listen, I was there when I was 23. I was dating non-Jewish girls. I was there. I'm not judging. I'm telling you, I was there myself, and I was completely depressed. And the real me was never out there. Whatever you guys went through, been there, done that. So there's no judgment here. I don't know anybody in this age group that's probably not going to go through some kind of situation like that.
What would you say to overthinkers who have accepted that they cannot handle their thoughts and literally ignore them and distract themselves from thinking deeply and into their own head, because it really could be too overwhelming for this person? Right.
Again, my classes, I talk about that all the time. You have to get on the group chat. It's not one class that's going to help you. You need to be on a constant, you need to be searching for knowledge. Get on my classes. I talk a lot about feelings create thoughts. When you feel something, all of a sudden that's going to pop 1,000 thoughts. What you have to do is you have to let go of the feeling. But again, let this class be an introduction to get everybody on the group chat. And let's get everybody to listen to classes in which it's therapy, it's Torah, it's everything in one. Dating, money, etc.
What are some techniques to keep control during quarantine?
Take this time to be able to, work on your health, exercise, take the time to read books, take this time to, obviously New York, what you guys have in New York is, we don't have the same challenge as bad as New York, but you guys are going through it. I can't even imagine. It's a very difficult time in New York right now. And you have to really, really be grateful that what Hashem's done. But again, spend as much time as you can reading and getting knowledge. So when this thing is over, you become a new person.
What types of books do you recommend to connect to Hashem?
Start with the Garden of Emunah, Garden of Gratitude. Start with those, I would say. Garden of Emunah, Garden of Gratitude. I would recommend that for his teenagers today.
How can a man be confident if he has been consistently let down by girls? How can he have a positive dating mindset?
Right. So there's a reason why he's been let down by girls. It could be that he's too pushy. It could be that he has very low energy because he's watching the wrong things, or he doesn't believe in himself. So when you don't believe in yourself, girls are going to see that this guy's not confident. Strongly recommend listening to my classes. You have to build your confidence. It's something you build. Something you build. When you learn Torah, you feel better about yourself, and you're able to transform a different energy. But when you start getting involved in a lot of tuma and a lot of negativity and a lot of this garbage weed and pornography, when you go meet a girl, they're going to feel your energy, and they're going to see your face is dark, and they're not going to have anything to do with you. So then what's going to happen is you're going to see constantly people that are going to reject you, and it's going to kill your confidence. And you're thinking this because you're confident, and it's probably from other things you're doing. So that's why it's very important that there's a lot of questions here, but we have to get to the core issue here. Why am I doing that? Why is that? There's other reasons why you're doing it. Okay, we'll ask 2 more questions and we'll be good to go.
Please ask that question. All right. What do you think about gap years after high school?
But what?
What do you think about gap years after high school?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. It's the yeshiva, the year after high school, they go to yeshiva or they take a break for a year.
It can't hurt. It can't hurt. I would probably do it. Anytime you have a chance to go to Israel for a year, take the chance.
Will a mixed dancing wedding spiritually ruin a relationship?
I can't answer that question. Depending on the relationship, depending on the people. I really can't answer that question.
This last one. All right.
All right. 2 more, 3 more?
Yeah. All right.
Ask your local rabbi for that one.
I often get into my own head about the people that have hurt me, and it really gets me down. I try to talk to myself and direct my mind to more positive thoughts and say that Hashem knows what's best for me. But when I feel like I'm avoiding the pain and just pushing it down, I don't know how to think and how to go about this to stop making me feel this negativity.
Right. Well, the bottom line is Hashem created a Yetzer Hara and he created a Yetzer Tov. So the Yetzer Hara makes everything about you. So when we take things personal in life, it's because it's the Yetzer Hara that's doing the damage. But my soul doesn't take things personal. When I feel negatively about myself, it's because the Yetzer Hara is affecting me. I'm not aware that the Yetzer Hara is putting thoughts in my mind. So that's what our job is to do, is to recognize, be mindful what the Yetzer Hara is and what the Yetzer Tov is. Negative thoughts are the Yetzer Hara, positive thoughts are the Yetzer Tov. So you need the Torah itself is the most empowering tool to help you with all of these things. Again, listen to my classes. They will help you. I have classes on negative thoughts. I have over 800 classes. You can listen to the recent ones, and they will help you tremendously on every single question you guys have.
If someone is gay/bi and they are starting to date a girl, should they tell her? If yes, at what phase in that relationship?
I'm not an expert in these kind of situations, really. I don't want to. I don't want to guide you in that way. It's not something I know that well that I can really guide you.
All right. And thoughts on a therapist versus personal rabbi?
Sometimes you need both. Sometimes a person sometimes he has a clinical issue that he needs a therapist. But start with the rabbi. If the rabbi doesn't help, you go to a therapist.
Okay, and that's the last question.
Good. Guys, have a great night. Again, guys.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gedale.
Guys, you have your whole lives ahead of you. You have your whole lives ahead of you. The main thing is, guys, take it easy with the Zerah Labatala. Take it easy with the marijuana. I'm telling you, it's the 2 things that I've seen the most damage from. It's going to damage everything across the board. We have a tikkun klali, something you could say every single day. You shouldn't have shame of what happened in the past. We don't care what happened in the past. You're not going to get judged for the past. But what are you doing now? And this is the time to build your whole life. All right, guys? Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gedale. Thank you, Breast of Power Classes, for everything. Thank you for everyone who was online today. Have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.